Hello, my name is Samm-Art Williams, and I'm the playwright. The play that we're doing here at the Signature Theater, the lovely Signature Theater, is called Home. Well, I would say that most of it is based on my experience as a young person growing up in the South in a little town called Burgaw, North Carolina. And as I tell people, when I grew up there, it was 1,700 people and one stoplight. We now have 3,400 people and 3 stoplights and 1 flashing light. I can't forget the flashing light. But it was based on my experience, and at the time I was living on 47th Street here in New York between 8th and 9th, and I started writing it. And it was getting to be Christmas, and I didn't have the money to go home, and I was beginning to miss home. And so I started thinking back and reminiscing on when I was growing up and how wonderful it was, and Christmas time was always warm. So I said, I'm going to write a positive play, and I began to pick my characters. But I wanted to do something that wasn't huge. I wanted to do a play that could be performed on the streets. I love street theater, and I performed street theater in the Bronx. Best educational theater I've ever had, because they throw things down from you from the apartments upstairs. But I wanted to do something that could be applied to street theater, so I kept it simple as possible. And Vietnam was raging at that particular time. Well, it was just about to end, but it was still on the minds of the people in America, period. I mean, everything was Vietnam, the war, anti-war demonstrations, etc. And so I wanted to do a positive play about a country character who's yearning for his home, which I was doing that Christmas. And that's sort of like how it came about. And I just drew on my experience growing up in the country, plowing mules, cropping tobacco, bootleggers, that was all, going to church, that was all a part of my experience. The rest was my imagination. Any southern town, whether you're from South Carolina or North Carolina, it makes no difference. There is a crossroads. If you're from New York, there's a crossroads. There's a crossroads in Long Island. There's a crossroads in Mississippi. There's a crossroads in Wisconsin. It's when you come to that place that you must make a decision. And now I have to make a decision. Now the physical crossroad, every little town has its crossroads. Somebody's crossroads. It could be Signature Crossroads. It's where they haven't named the town, so they just call it a crossroads. But it really is significant in Cephus's life. The character in Home is that he's now at a crossroad. He must make a decision. Am I going home, or shall I stay in the city to be further degraded and probably die? Well, when he reached the crossroads, he went back home. Now, I did not sit down when I first started to write this play saying that I'm going to write a play that's going to transcend time, and 400 years from now will still be proper and appropriate. I didn't think about all those things, but I'm glad that it happened. There are certain things that your heart just leads you to, and I guess this is one of those things that it seems to be quite timeless. I mean, I hope that it continues to be so, but it also goes with the kind of production that you're getting. You see, I don't think that the Signature Theater is trying to do something different. They're trying to do the play as it was written, but to do it in 2008 as opposed to 1979. I like to do religious things in my plays. For instance, thou shalt not kill, love thy neighbor. Those are things regardless of what your religious background, whether what you prescribe to, it's there. You know, whether it's the Bible, whether it's the Torah, it makes no difference. It's you shouldn't kill a person. And so I wanted my character to have a conscience, and I think that that will live for a long time. One of the things that they will get is, and one thing that I try to preach, we're all humans. We're all a member of the human race on this planet. I don't care where you're from. I mean, you can be from Israel, you can be from North Carolina, you can be from China, you can be from Africa, wherever. We're all human beings. And I think that what they will find in this play, that there is a crossroads where we all meet, and hopefully Home could be a part of that crossroads.